Hi, and welcome to another great CEO podcast. I'm Pam Singleton, and I'm here with another great CEO, John Ohanesian of Lear Capital. Welcome, John, and thank you for being here.
Thank you. It's John Ohanesian, but thank you.
Oh, I apologize.
No
Say it
worries.
one more time.
John Ohanesian.
Okay, got it.
I've been practicing it my entire life, and I almost have it right. Okay.
Fair enough. So in a few sentences, tell us what Lear Capital does.
Sure. So we are one of the largest direct-to-the-consumer retail precious metals companies in the U.S. And we've been around for about 26 years. We only sell our product to residents of the U.S., no one outside the U.S. And we sell gold, silver, platinum, palladium. About 60% of our business are folks who wish to hold it personally.
Oh, okay.
They actually hold the hard asset, bars or coins, whatever it may be. The other 40% are folks who place it in their IRA, their self-directed individual retirement account. And that must go through a custodian, an IRA custodian, and it must be held at a depository, because by IRS law, you cannot hold any hard asset that is otherwise within your IRA personally. You can't keep it at home. You can't hang the art on the wall. It must be stored at a depository by law.
Oh, gosh.
And so a lot of the folks that are customers of Lear's, they are typically conservative mindset in terms of their politics. Okay, not always trusting of the system, the government, banking, whatever it may be, and they do it as either a store of value, a hedge, and sometimes they do it for purpose of potential currency in the event that the dollar might not be what it is today.
Certainly.
Those are the reasons that they typically and take on the products that we sell, and it's a very competitive field that we're in, but it's a marketing. We don't cold call anybody. We promote our message through TV, radio, print, podcast, streaming, whatever it may be, and then people respond, and then we conduct our business with them over the phone.
Okay, so it's a competitive industry, and how do you differentiate yourself from your competitors? Why should I buy from you?
Sure, good question. Very good question. A couple of facts. We've been around the longest, 26 years. Okay, we've done over $3 billion in transactions. We have over 92,000 customers. Our complaint rate is very, very low, even though you'll find some. Obviously, you're going to find some. Okay, we were the first to record the transactions, the confirmation on the phone with you. That's not required by law, but we do that. Okay? We were the first to disclose our fee. There is a fee, obviously. Okay, we have to. We're a profit-making business,
transparent.
And we were very transparent. And we were the very first. We did this a couple of years ago to put in place a 24-hour cancellation policy.
Oh my gosh! Okay.
So, and that's a risky venture. But here's why: if you decide to transact with us today, let's say you decided to invest $50,000, and you decide gold, silver, some combination, whatever it might be, we lock in the price because it floats, right? Well, if you decide in 24 hours, then 24 hours is defined as from the time you receive the invoice from us, okay? Either by email or by, if people don't do email, then by Federal Express, let's say. So if you cancel and then the price floats, it goes one way or the other, well, we have to deal with that. So
it's really working in the consumer's interests.
We are without question. And then there are certain there are various state laws. There are, I think, 20 different states that have a cancellation policy that extends beyond 24 hours. They have up to 3 days or 7 days or 10 days. So it varies state by state, up to 20 states, I believe it is. So we are very, very transparent. We have a lot of history, and so that's why we believe that we're the choice that people should make when they decide to make a purchase.
Well, that's a compelling value proposition.
Thank you.
Every business has some sort of constraint that if you could change would make it a better business. You have a great business, but what's the one thing you could change to make it even better? So we're not talking about regulatory stuff. We're talking about an internal constraint that you could change.
We are very selective in terms of how we hire our sales personnel, because we have, of our 86 team members, approximately 50 are in the sales side. We have a very thorough training program, but how we go about to screen and select people on the front end is really critical. And even more challenging in today's environment for companies to find talent and because
And
there are a
retain
lot
it.
and retain it. Thank you. And there are a lot of salespeople out there, and they're very talented, but they have to have a certain style, a certain skill set. It's overused, but I'll use it in any event. Less is more when you're speaking or selling to somebody. Okay, less is more. And oftentimes people go way too far beyond what they should be presenting or saying instead of listening carefully. And so the skill set, the inherent skill set and ability to listen and pivot and respond to what the customer wants is critical. And so we have a manner in how we assess people, not just with the interview by Zoom or in person, but also we have a little assessment tool that we use, the Harrison, that's been well known and used by companies to see how you match up with the position profile and the skills that you're looking for. So that's the I wish we could do a better job of that, and we're always trying to refine it, frankly.
It's very, very, very difficult to hire the right people. And I applaud you taking lots of time to pick the right salespeople as opposed to just salespeople. Well, let's move on and focus on you for a moment
Sure.
as CEO. Now, how many hours a week do you work and where do you spend your time?
Sure. So I've always been coming into the office, even during physically in terms of where I spend my time, even during the pandemic, the height of the pandemic. Yes, our team, our company, people then start working from home, but 4 of us continued to come into the office, and I was one of them because I felt it was more effective to pull the levers, and then we took all the precautions, but I felt it was more effective to pull the levers, from the actual office, and we have, our setup and so forth. My time, in terms of how I spend my time, let me just pivot back because I think that'll put some visibility on it. So I came here 6 years ago as the CEO, June of 2017, and I had never been in this category before, never been in this space. And so when I was and I wasn't even working full time at the time. I had been a CEO of another company for a long time. We had sold it. That for 7 years, I did various things, business wise and fun stuff, personal stuff. And then I got kind of bored. And then out of the blue, I got recruited, for this opportunity. So I wasn't even sure I wanted to be a full-time CEO again. And so the owner of the company, I asked him, "Why do you want me? I know nothing about your industry." So that's exactly why I want you. I want someone who's agnostic, who has a whole fresh new perspective. So therefore, now with that said, how was my time going to be spent in the end? Okay, aside from figuring out the business. Well, obviously you got to run the business. Okay, but my focus as the CEO on our marketing, on our compliance. Compliance is a big deal in this category. We sort of talked about it before we got started here. Okay, focus on our team, our people. Now we have of our 86 people, I would say 50 to 60% work from home. They still work from home, and that's what they want to do. And so the ones that have been with us, long term, who have the skills that we say fine. New people, different story, because they got to be, on the ground in the office, better understand and learn how we do things. But marketing, compliance, the training of folks, the selection of people, and then in today's world, because we do a lot of marketing, it's not, and I've been in the marketing and sales space my entire career, direct response. It's not like it used to be in terms of you produce a commercial or an infomercial and you put it on TV, right? People aren't watching TV as much as they used to. So now you have to have influencers and you have to, find podcasts that work for you. And so constantly looking to create new relationships, new partnerships with marketing, partners. I was on the phone driving in this morning, 3 calls, boom, 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 about this. So we're always looking to, better our messaging and who we message with in terms of channels that we work on.
Marketing has changed dramatically over the last, even the last 3 years.
Yes, it has. Yeah.
So as any business grows, as leaders, we have to shed some responsibilities to develop the people and free ourselves up to work on higher level activities. So name one major responsibility you've delegated in the last 6 months.
Good question. I'll tell you exactly what it was. I hired somebody about 6 months ago. I hired in the marketing space. Okay, we've had a chief marketing officer since I've gotten here. We hired a vice president of digital marketing. Okay, and as much as it's critical for us to have our marketing personnel in the office because we talk a lot, strategize a lot, ideas. He's remote. He comes in every other week, and we accepted that because we wanted to find the right talent. He lives in Atlanta. He's in 1 week, he's there 1 week. It's worked out great. He's a great guy, but we had to, because I said, things have changed with how you go to market.
Right.
We had to find someone with the expertise and skill set. We hired a national search firm. We did a national search. I personally screened 15 people.
Oh,
Okay,
my.
and then got down to one person, and we selected him, and that was a big move we made 6 months ago.
Well, congratulations. That's
Thank
a big responsibility to take off your shoulders.
Yeah.
You've been a CEO for a number of years. You have a thriving business. What 1 or 2 things describe you personally as a leader?
Oh, wow. I've learned. So I've been a CEO since 1990. Okay, different companies. One for 20 years, a startup for same time, a biotech company, and other things of that sort. I park my ego at the door. It's not about me, and I can't say I did that in 1990. Okay, I did that. I mean, I'm a young 68. Okay, so I've been doing this for a while, and so that's one thing. I park my ego at the door. I try and listen a lot more than I talk, and people are kind of struck by that because they expect, well, why don't you say more? But when I speak, people do listen. I think I have something of worth to say, but I don't have that need to, have my ego shine or be, own the room. I really don't, and that surprises people sometimes.
Humility is a tremendous virtue. Last question: what do you do for fun?
Oh, wow. Okay, I'll give you a few things here. I work out a lot, exercise. I'm an avid road cyclist. I have a bike. I ride in Malibu 50 miles every single Saturday, 3,000 feet of climbing. I go on adventurous vacations. I have 2 daughters I adore and love. They're 34 and 28. I'm also all about personal growth and development. I do a lot of reading and reflection and exploring and growth in that way. And I found I've done that a lot more over the last half dozen years, I think. And I think it served me quite well. In fact, last point on this, which transcends back to the business. So, people will come in and talk to me in my office about whatever the issue might be. And this I'm being humble about this, but it may not sound that way. They will say to me when they're done speaking with me about whatever the issue might be, "Boy, you don't react. Give us your thought." Okay, I can't say that was the case, in 1990 when I started out as a CEO. So I try not to react.
Maturity is
Yeah, thank you.
helpful.
Maturity. Yeah. So anyway, but the personal growth that I talked about, and so the self sort of exploration has led me to do that both in my personal life, but also, my business life. I do have a vegetable garden. Very proud of. I plant that every March. I have a vegetable garden in my backyard of tomatoes and eggplant and cucumber and squash and whatever else I have there. Yeah, that's fun.
Oh, to be in California in the growing zone.
And I'm the most obnoxious, avid, disgustingly excited Los Angeles Dodger baseball fan. I have
You have a lot of competition. Talk about competition.
And I was fortunate enough in 2004 to throw out the first pitch there, and I played in the league, 35 and above, for a couple of years. I do a lot of fun stuff to answer your question.
All right. Sounds like you have a lot of fun. Well,
yeah.
Don, thank you so much. This was awesome.
Okay.
Great interview, and I wish you tremendous luck going forward. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for reaching out. Really appreciate it. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Have a good day. Bye-bye.
You too.